Have you ever had one conversation completely ruin your day? Maybe your boss said something, someone criticized you, or a loved one hurt you. Hours later, you're still replaying the conversation in your mind, imagining different answers, feeling stressed, anxious, and unable to focus on your own life. Why does this happen? And more importantly, how do we stop giving other people so much power over our peace while still treating them with respect? Let's start with 6 tips you can use. Tip number 1. There's nothing wrong with you. Your reactions are human. First, remember this. There's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is doing what it was designed to do. For thousands of years, being accepted by the group helped us survive, and being rejected by the group was equal to a possible death. That's why our brain is wired to notice social acceptance and to pay close attention to how other people respond to us. That's why even today, it's completely normal that one critical comment or awkward conversation can feel much bigger than it really is. Another reason why we might pay too much attention on people's reactions is because very often we build our identity based on how others perceive us. If someone appreciates us, we feel valuable. If someone rejects us, we start doubting ourselves. So sometimes we're not protecting our reputation. We're protecting our own picture we have of ourselves. And that's where we have to be careful not to hand to other people the job of deciding who we are. The good news is that understanding why this happens also shows us how to become less controlled by it. One final important reason we get affected by other people's opinions is because we all have natural needs for love, acceptance, respect, and belonging. The problem isn't having those needs. It's believing that one person's opinion gets to decide whether they're fulfilled. The healthier we learn to meet those needs within ourselves and through supportive relationships, the less one person's opinion can shake us. Tip number 2. People give you what they carry, not what you deserve. Sometimes we treat people with respect, but they can't reply in the same way, simply because they carry completely different things inside. Some people give from a place of pain. Some from stress, insecurity, or anger. Some people have very little empathy, and they don't even realize the impact of what they do. And there are even people who simply enjoy seeing that they can get a reaction from you. People usually don't give you what you deserve, but what they carry inside. None of that means you deserved their reaction. It means that's what they had to give. So what do you do with that? People will inevitably disappoint you sometimes. They won't always understand you, appreciate you, or treat you the way you would treat them. That's part of being human. However, don't lose yourself in someone else's drama, thoughts, or way of seeing the world. Just because someone thinks something about you doesn't make it true. Their thoughts and judgments are just thoughts after all, not true facts, and they belong to them. They don't deserve to live in your mind. You don't have to carry other people's stress and anxiety in your own body. That was never yours to carry. You don't owe anyone the burden of making their emotions your own. Don't spend your precious time that will never be given back to you, trying to understand, fix, or prove yourself to someone who isn't willing to understand you. Use your time on this earth wisely, by finding your way to yourself over and over. That's where your power lives. By stepping out of other people, pain, you don't only protect yourself, but you also help to close the cycle that has been passed by one person to another. Find your own path, your own values, and your own journey. You don't have to match the energy someone gives you. Someone can give you anger, and you can choose calm. Someone can give you disrespect, and you can choose dignity. Someone can give you drama, and you can choose peace. Remember who you are, and don't let someone else's pain convince you to become someone you're not. Because protecting your peace is not about getting everyone to treat you well. It's about not losing yourself when they don't. You won't always be able to control what people say, how they react, or what they bring into your life. But you can always have the full power and freedom to come back to yourself. Tip number 3. Sometimes we don't react to people. We react to the meaning we created about their behavior. Sometimes the story we create around an event can hurt us more than the event itself. 2 people can experience exactly the same situation and walk away with completely different feelings because they interpret it differently. We often fill in the gaps, jump to conclusions, and assume we know what someone meant before we actually know the facts. Someone doesn't reply to your message, and you might think, they're ignoring me. Someone seems distant, and you might think, they're upset with me. But maybe they're stressed, distracted, tired, dealing with something you know nothing about, or simply didn't communicate clearly. Maybe others' reactions are not even about us. Our mind hates uncertainty, So it creates explanations and tries to fill in the blanks when we don't have the full story. We assume intentions and sometimes turn guesses into facts, even if they are not. We should not ignore our intuition, but we could slow down before turning assumptions into conclusions. Instead of assuming, we can gather more information by asking, "Why did you say that? Can you help me understand what you meant? Is something bothering you?" Ask questions. Listen. Give the other person a chance to explain. Sometimes one honest conversation can completely change the meaning you gave to an entire situation. Tip number 4. Respond instead of react. When someone upsets us, our first instinct is often to react. We want to defend ourselves, explain ourselves, fight back, or make the other person feel what we felt. But reacting in that moment can keep us trapped in the same drama we're trying to escape. Sometimes reacting is like throwing another piece of wood onto a fire. The other person's anger creates anger in us. Our anger creates more anger in them, and suddenly we're both trapped in something that neither of us actually wanted. You may not be able to control how someone starts a situation, but you can decide whether you keep it going. That's why it is important to choose to respond instead of react. Responding doesn't mean staying silent or allowing people to treat you badly. You can be angry and still respond calmly. You can set a boundary without attacking. You can say no without trying to hurt the other person. The difference is that you're choosing your response instead of letting the emotion choose it for you. Not every feeling needs an immediate action. Sometimes the most powerful response is the one you give after you've had time to calm down. Sometimes the best thing you can do when you're upset is nothing, at least for a little while. Don't send the message yet. Don't make the decision yet. Don't say the thing you'll wish you could take back tomorrow. Give yourself time for the emotion to come down before you decide what you actually want to say. Because not every battle deserves your energy. Before you answer, pause and ask yourself, will my next response make this situation better or simply louder? Because the goal is not to win every conversation. The goal is to choose a response you will respect tomorrow. Tip number 5. We can't change everyone. Sometimes someone criticizes us, and we're devastated, not only because of what they said, but because they touched a wound that was already there. That doesn't mean they are right. It means they revealed a place inside us that may need attention and healing. Instead of continuing the same pain, we can use that moment as an opportunity to understand it better and finally close that cycle. So instead of only asking, "Why did they say that?" we can also ask, "Why did this affect me so deeply? What inside me became activated?" Sometimes difficult moments reveal the expectations we didn't even realize we were carrying. We expect people to understand us, choose us, appreciate us, support us, or love us in a certain way. And when reality doesn't match the picture we created in our minds, we suffer. Sometimes we believe we are holding on to a person, but what we are really holding on to is the feeling we hoped that person would give us. The more we depend on someone else to give us a certain feeling, the more power we give them over our peace. This doesn't mean we shouldn't need people or value relationships. Connection, love, and belonging are human needs. But it means we have to be honest about what is ours to carry and what is not. Sometimes we have to accept and mourn the reality that someone may not be able to give us what we hoped for. Maybe a friend will not always be there the way we imagined. Maybe a boss will not recognize our efforts. Maybe a partner cannot meet every need we have. And accepting that can hurt. It can take time. It can take weeks or even longer. But letting go of an expectation is not giving up on ourselves. Sometimes it is finally seeing reality clearly. And when we release the expectation that one person must fulfill everything we need, we create space to find those needs in healthier ways. Through other relationships, through our passions, through hobbies, goals, purpose, and the relationship we build with ourselves. Have needs, build connections, but don't make one person responsible for your entire sense of worth. The moment we stop fighting reality for being different from what we hoped, we get our energy back to build the life we actually have. Because the goal is not to stop needing others. The goal is to stop giving someone else complete control over our happiness. Tip number 6. Set boundaries. Finally, remember that protecting your peace does not mean accepting everything. Kindness does not require you to abandon yourself. You can understand someone's pain and still recognize when their behavior is hurting you. You can forgive someone and still create distance. You can care about someone and still set a boundary, because boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about respecting yourself. Sometimes the most peaceful choice is having an honest conversation. Sometimes it is stepping back, and sometimes it is letting go. The goal is not to become colder. The goal is to stay kind without losing yourself. A boundary is not a way to hurt someone back. It is a way to stop hurting yourself. So start with clarity. Know what you are protecting. Before setting a boundary, ask yourself, what behavior is hurting me? What do I need in order to feel respected? What am I willing and not willing to accept? A boundary is much easier to communicate when you understand it yourself. For example, instead of saying you are always disrespectful, try, when conversations become insulting, I need to step away and continue when we can speak respectfully. The focus moves from attacking the person to protecting yourself. Set boundaries around your own actions. A boundary is not, you cannot yell, because you cannot control another person. A boundary is, if yelling starts, I will take a break from the conversation. You control your response. Stay respectful, even when they don't. You can say, I respect you, but I don't agree. Or, I care about you, but this behavior is not okay for me. So let's stop here. Please like, subscribe, and comment and let me know which tip you find the most useful. Thank you for watching, and please share with anyone who might need to see this video.